Hello, beautiful ladies and gents, if you are joining us at another time. This is the Angel Lady Terry Marie, and we are day 7. I have to keep looking at the calendar to make sure I'm on the right day with y'all. And today it's all about empath energy during changing times. And yesterday when I was writing out the topic in the email and in the post on the Facebook group, I almost switched it to say challenging, but I think that was more from my human self than it was really coming from guidance. So I left it as it was channeled to me when we first got started with this challenge itself. Because if we focus on the word challenge, then it brings up other energies that we really don't need or want to work with in addition to the ones we're already working with. Anyone want to share for a moment or two what they have experienced since we got together last? Shelley, I know it was you and me yesterday. I don't remember who else was here. I'm sorry. Tina, you've been away for a couple days, so either of you, or let's see, Jill or Gina, is there something that you'd like to share in the comments or be, live voice-wise? Tina? Okay, hang on a second. Okay.
Awesome. So I
Go ahead, sweetie.
Catch up on the old stuff.
That's okay, but have you experienced anything, a shift even with what you were doing?
I would say the shift is that I'm less involved in the drama.
That's huge. That's huge. Okay, excellent. Put you back on mute. Shelley, is there anything you'd like to share with us? You're live in case you do.
I've definitely felt a shift for sure. I've been I have been really, really, really stuck. And so this experience has really helped me a lot. I feel more of myself, right? Instead of foreign being that's been me for the last month or so.
Good. And what was the you posted in group that there was some resistance or you had a really hard time writing out the woe is me story. I'm not asking you for your story, but just what came up for you that attempted to have you not do it or to procrastinate with that?
Finances are always an issue, and so it's something that I don't like to focus on because it's just that it's always just super tight.
Okay, can you start saying it gets easier every day? How about things get easier every day, and just leave the money word or the financial prosperity part out of it verbally, and just say things get easier every day.
Things get easier every day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because as long as you keep the words super tight there, it's exactly what you're manifesting more of, because that's what you're focusing on, and it is so tricky.
Yes.
So tricky.
It is. It's like I said, it's kind of a new learning thing for me. This I guess it's just the mind, right, and the way it works, and just trying to keep the positive.
Yes, and it's well-worn pathways mentally. So your conscious mind, and so that's where it's going to go first. It's like driving the same route, and then you want to go a different way, and you find yourself going down the same old way. Sometimes you do that out of intuition, where the angels are just guiding you. And I plan in my head which way I'm going to go. Otherwise, it's like a map in my head. So I kind of map it out, or I have a paper map. But the point is, if you keep on doing the same things, you're just wearing more of the rut in that pathway, regardless whether it's finances or relationships or what else can we use, guys? Your style of creativity or working to write emails and whatnot. For a long time, it was really hard for me to write emails because there was this blank sheet of paper on the computer. Then I started doing them in a notebook, which felt a lot more, well, less formal and more personal because I was writing it out. And I've begun to shift back to the computer because that formality piece has softened so much over the last maybe 2 years. Now I still channel the books by hand in a notebook because otherwise, anyway. So by practicing these things, and the reason we're giving you so many different tools is not everything's going to work the same with the same intensity or clarity every single time, and you may want to use combinations of tools. So today, yes, okay. So oh, hang on a second. There's something here in chat. And Gina, hello, gorgeous, says, yes, she felt a shift and had vivid dreams after having done the exercises. Good. If y'all are increasing your dreams or remembering your dreams, start writing them down. All you have to do is put a couple of bullets, a couple of statements, because a 20-second dream could take you a half hour or an hour to write out, and that's not the purpose, is to slow you down. It's just to help you remember, because there may be some symbology in there that you want to look at later. And this is coming up now. So you can get a book on dream symbols and things. However, the ones I've gotten or looked at, understandably, are from the author's point of view. So you want to start your own dream book, for symbols and messages, symbology, because a snake can mean different things. A fox can be sly, or it can be cunning in a good way. Let's see what else. A snake can be something or someone slithering, or it could be transformation, because a snake sheds its skin. So you want to write down different meanings for different symbols. So if you get a rainbow in your dream, or you get a tower, write down tower, and then what does a tower mean to you, so that you can come back to this. And you can do these as the dreams and the symbols come up, or you can start one ahead of time. It's probably easier to just do it as you go along, because that way you can interpret your own dreams. Snakes are also magic. Thank you. See? Exactly. So I wouldn't have seen it that way for myself. For me, it's transformation rather than a slithering. And now I have something else to add to that for an example. Thank you, Tina. Excellent. All right, so let's get into it. And today we're going to do the meditation first. I did want to type in the angel's name. Her name is Cassiel, Angel of Serenity, Cassiel, Cassiel. So that is her. And if y'all would, turn off all your other things and just be present. You want to be here for this. At least, I think so. So put your, feet flat on the ground. Close your eyes. We're going to get ready here. Take in a deep breath, beautiful. And let it out. Breathe in and breathe out. Focus on the sound of our voice, the images and the scenery. We are at the beginning of a beautiful forest, and what's in front of you right now is a beautiful white arched gate. It's like a trellis with vines growing all over it, and tiny little purple and white flowers and some pink ones dot this beautiful trellis, this ivy vine. You walk towards the gate, open it, step through so you're still in the arch, and the magical world that has just opened up to you is a beautiful forest filled with pine trees, sycamores, cypress, oak, your favorite trees, maple. And if you're seeing palm trees, that's fine. It's your forest. Whatever you see is absolutely perfect. Just take in a deep breath. Kind of shrug or shake your shoulders a little bit to shake off all the dust, the dusty energy, the emotions, the thoughts, the feelings. Take in another deep breath and let it out and start walking. There is a beautiful path in front of you. There are rose petals on this pathway so that you're walking on love, walking with love, and walking through love. The sky up above is soft blue with some soft white fluffy clouds. You just keep walking deeper and deeper into the forest, noticing all the flowers, the plants, the animals, the different kinds of trees, the butterflies, dragonflies, hummingbirds, swallows, robins. There's even hawk, owl, raven, crow. And some mourning doves have just shown up. You keep walking deeper into the forest, feeling more and more calm and at peace. Yes, Cassiel is with you. She is by your side. She has brought along with her Archangel Jophiel and Uziel. Jophiel is all about unconditional love. She's the one who gave you all the rose petals to walk upon. And Uziel is all about faith. Umbriel is showing up for truth and clarity so that your vision, your energy, your thoughts, your emotions are more clear and you can see the truth beyond the physical appearance, which really is an illusion. Surface appearance is a reflection of the past, not the moments to come. There's a soft breeze that blows against your skin. You come to a little clearing and there's a beautiful bench. There are pillows and a backrest, something for you to raise your feet on. There are bunny rabbits. There's even a coyote who has joined. A baby hippopotamus. And if you see other colors, birds or animals, stick with that. They are yours. They're coming for you. There's even an armadillo. Oh, porcupine has showed up. So he is helping to pierce the negative energy. Just breathe in the coolness and breathe out. Just breathe in and breathe out. Angel Cassiel is sitting beside you. She's holding your hand in hers, transferring loving, unconditional serenity, harmony, and bliss, and taking all that you are willing to give that no longer resonates, that no longer serves. You begin to feel her amazing energy fill your entire physical body, your entire being, down through the DNA, the cellular structure, every nook and cranny within your physical body, your energy bodies, and your aura. If there's something you'd like to ask Cassiel to help you with, do so now. You may receive an answer instantaneously, or it may come at a later time. Trust you will know it when you see it or hear it. You will recognize it and know that this is an answer to your question or that what you want help with, so it will be clear guidance or a message. Just stay in the silence for a moment with all of this natural beauty, loving energy, the angels with you. It's time to come back down the path, back to the opening, back to the arched gate with the trellis and the tiny purple, pink, and white flowers. You are bringing everything with you, all the energy, the insights, the love, the support, the compassion, the serenity, and feelings of peace. You're getting closer and closer to the gate. Cassiel reminds you that you are welcome to come back to this place and to this time, anytime and as many times as you wish. You have reached the white gate. Turn around. Take one last look at the beautiful forest and all the animals and the angels, the colors, the birds that are traveling with you. You come out the gate. Begin to come back to this place and this time. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and be present now. Let me know when you're back. Glad you could join us today, Lori. Anyone care to share a little bit about their experience? Y'all are just still, okay. We'll just stay there for a while in that energy. We'll get on with the lesson. Being an empath means, and most of you probably already know what this is, but just in case someone who is joining us at a later time is not familiar with it, an empath is someone who experiences or senses and feels other people's energies and their own rather intensely. And some people might even call you over the top, or it's not that big of a deal, but they're not understanding, and they probably won't because they don't experience it themselves. That an empath senses other people, energies below or behind the words, the facial features, whether it's an email, a text, phone call, whatever it is. There are varying degrees, so it depends on how much you have developed and practiced this. And if you're just getting rid of quite a bit of the negativity, then you may start to feel things that you haven't before. You're not going crazy, you're not going insane, and it's not all of a sudden that you're getting bombarded. It's just you have cleared away and removed a lot of the surface debris, the rubbish. So you are sensing it more clearly. And that's part of what it is you want to do. Now, here's a way that you can protect yourself from this. You can imagine a bubble of pink light. And Tina and I have done some of this work before, many times on the pink light. You just imagine yourself in a bubble of pink light. It protects you and it repels and filters out negativity. The more you practice, the more you know that it works, because the conscious mind is the one that needs to be, what do you call it? Convinced. Thank you. The conscious mind is the one that needs to be convinced. And we just have a kitty. Tina's kitty likes to come in when we're having our sessions. So I'm not surprised that Kitty Cat has showed up again today. So, hey, Kitty, I don't remember what the name is, but it's kind of cool. Cats are very perceptive. Dogs too, but cats more, because they're kind of aloof to begin with. It's like, well, if it doesn't fit my world, they just, don't bother. So they really like to feed off or to interact with the energy. And so do dogs, but mostly cats. Yes, thank you. I was just asking what other ways you can help protect yourself. So if you're out in the world, for women, it's a lot easier than for guys, but you can cross your ankles. This pulls your energy in so that's not quite so much out there. And it's not about cutting yourself off. It's about protecting yourself from negativity. So if you're in a meeting or you're in a restaurant and all of a sudden you feel the energy shift, you can cross your ankles. If you're in a meeting, you can bring your hand, not make a fist, but just, bring your hands in together like so. So you can do this with your non-writing hand, your non-dominant hand. That way you're not drawing more attention to you. You can also cross your arms, but you want to be careful when you do this, because for some that is negative body language. But you can, at least women, more so than guys, can put their hands in front of their tummy so that they block their solar plexus. Sometimes guys can do that too, but that's more of a feminine gesture than it is a masculine one. So, and there are some people, that's true, there are some people who want hugs, but I really don't want their energy. But I'm in a position where this is what I do, and so I will put my arm, I don't know if you can see it, put my arm diagonally across, my right arm diagonally across my heart chakra, across my chest, and do the one-armed hug. And you just do it naturally, as natural as you can, and just don't make a big deal out of it. One of the other things you can do is to wash your hands as soon as you can, especially if you're a healer and having just given a reading or a healing session, you want to wash your hands right off. Okay. How do you deal with being an empath during changing times? Limit what you watch. I like to watch TV because then it disengages my conscious mind. And I don't watch the news, and I don't watch very violent movies or programs. I wanted to see The American Sniper because I know it was a really good movie, but at some point I had to turn it off because I really didn't want that in my conscious mind. And even though it was well done and I wanted to see the evolution of this person and all of its experiences, all his experiences, I followed guidance and turned it off. So I'm definitely not in the horror movie genre. I don't watch any of those things. Murder mysteries, I like those, but it depends on the degree of the negativity and what they do with it. So you get to be careful. And if you want to continue to watch those things, then do. Know that you then get to detox from that and your stuff. Because everybody else who watches that's a good way to say it. Thank you. It's like a thread or a tube of light or energy gets attached to that movie or to those scenes. and you're exchanging energy with everybody else. So you can ask Archangel Michael, to cut cords, to, so if you like horror movies, I'm not saying don't watch them, just be aware that empaths are affected more easily than others. So you can just cut cords after the movie or the whatever you just watched. If you like to keep up with the news, incense right after you watch it, or change the energy, do a singing bowl or tingsas, or just go out and just really ground yourself, go out into nature or something just to ground yourself. I don't watch it and I still have a good idea about what's going on, because you can't really get away from it. And it's not about burying your head in the sand, it's about not adding more stuff to work through and to clear out of your own. Is this making sense, ladies? Okay. Are there any questions in particular about this? Okay, this is your chance to ask some questions, or if it's not clear enough, then let me know. And if you, no questions, understand, never watch horror stuff. Yeah, me either. Not me either, Lori. There are, remember when the Jaws movie came out many, many years ago? Well, I went to see it with my friends, and we all know at this one particular scene that there were like these 3 air balls or something, some kind of buoys, and they were tied to the shark somehow. Y'all know it was going to come up to the surface at some point. Well, I still screamed, and the whole theater of women screamed along with me. And it's like, well, I couldn't help it. So, that's just the way it goes. That's one of the reasons why I don't watch it, because even though I know it's going to happen, it's still just, woo! When you're an empath, it's important to know, it's already about 90 degrees, almost 100 here today in El Paso, so it's a bit warm on my end. Being an empath also means that you are more sensitive to not only your energy, but other people's energy, but the moon. Now, this is not permission or a cop-out. It is become aware of it. As the Mercury goes retrograde, or the full moon comes in, or the new moon comes in, or there's a solar eclipse, or there's a lunar eclipse, or there are solar flares, these things are going to affect you. They will have a bigger pull at some times or others. It's during these times, if you're noticing all of a sudden you're out of sorts, or you have, that's a good thing too. If you are going along your way and you're walking, in a mall or to a restaurant, or even outside your own home along a street or sidewalk, and all of a sudden your energy flips, from something positive to you feel cranky, or just something doesn't feel right, more than likely you have just walked through somebody else's junk. So you can ask yourself, is this coming to me or from me? Yes, there are crystals to protect you, and thank you for the question. I'll get to that in just a second, I promise. So what you can do for that energy that you just walked through, you ask yourself in your head, or you can out loud if you want, is this coming from me or to me? And I have found in my own experience that by asking that question, if it's coming to me or at me, then it dissipates rather quickly. And the crystals to help protect you, there are a variety of them. The ones that come to mind, or I guess that would be a good word, potent or the strongest, the easiest to work with in some ways would be selenite. I'll type the names in here. Selenite, Selenite. Whoop, did I spell that right? I hope so. Kyanite, and I didn't spell that one right. Kyanite. Okay. Selenite is white. Kyanite is blue. They are somewhat soft. So they, not like crumble in your hands, but they're softer than most other crystals. And these two are really powerful. They protect and they absorb negative energy, neither of which you need to cleanse or recharge because they actually renew their own vibration all the time. So these two are the only ones that other people can touch that doesn't get infected or absorb. Well, it does absorb their energy, but it does not then go into you. Does that make sense? When people touch your other crystals, like my bracelets, I don't like people to touch my bracelets because their energy is then within the bracelets or the stones themselves and will transfer into me. So I don't need their stuff. These are parts of my filter. And because I'm in my own environment, I'm not wearing as many, but when I go out, I have a cuff on both hands. All kinds of different crystals. Now, other crystals that you can use are smoky quartz. And you want to be careful about smoky quartz because a lot of people will treat them so that they become very dark. And the way that you can tell if it's a naturally occurring or naturally formed smoky quartz or man-enhanced is that the smoky quartz that are natural and unaffected by human hands or treatments is you can still see through them. They're still transparent. I mean, they're not clear like a piece of clear glass or clear quartz, but you can still see them in the beautiful inclusions or the rainbow prisms inside. The ones that have been treated are like super dark, almost black, and they're opaque. You can't see anything, and there's no energy. They're dead, absolutely dead. And the other one, okay, I'll type this in here for you, smoky quartz. I'm pretty sure you all know how to spell that one. And then clear quartz. There are lots of other crystals that you can use to help you stay in that energy of serenity. You can use blues. So blue like lapis or sodalite or blue calcite. Oh, that's true too. Chrysocolla, which is the peace stone, is beautiful, beautiful, rich blues. You can also use for pink for love, so rose quartz, cherry quartz, kunzite, rhodochrosite, those kinds of things. Let's see if that's helpful for you. Let me know. And there's another something in here. Jill, still thinking about the hug. I worked in a funeral home for years. Wow. She's a hugger. Can't I clear my energy daily? Yes, you can. Absolutely. And you can see where it's been a drain. You can clear your energy daily. Absolutely. If you feel the need to take a salt bath every day, do that. I have put together a spray. For myself, I use alcohol. I have perfumer's alcohol, but people use vodka or witch hazel or rubbing alcohol. I don't like the smell of those, but you can use them and they're really inexpensive. And you put in lavender, eucalyptus. This is just my own concoction. Lavender, eucalyptus, a touch of rose, Chinese rose. It's very expensive, but you only need maybe a drop or two. What else do I put in there? Patchouli and frankincense. These are oranges, and they help to disperse the energy, to burn it off. And the lavender is very clearing and cleansing. And then the rose for the love energy. Okay, so you can use all of those. Did I say vodka? I did. Some people use vodka because it doesn't smell. And so it's not something that you're going to drink, but you just put it in a spray bottle. And I'll go through my house once in a while and just spray the different areas. And just that aroma or that scent not only clears the air, but I breathe it in, as I'm walking through, and it clears out the energy within me too. Now remember, yes, you can use sage, absolutely. No, you didn't mishear me. It's vodka. that's up to you. I don't like using that, but you can use the rubbing alcohols or the witch hazel, I think. I like perfumer's alcohol. Bought a lot many years ago, so that's what I'm using. It has no scent for the oils to overcome. Let's see what else. Sage, absolutely. You can use, yes, sage essential oil in the alcohol is very good, very clearing, very clarifying, absolutely. So these are all things that you can do to help you keep your energy clear. Being an empath is certainly trying. It is a challenge during these tumultuous times. I mean, bombings and all that other stuff that's going on, and that's just what's being reported. There are things going on all over this world, and as the energy increases, both positive and negative, you're going to feel it to a varying degree. Depends on how sensitive you are or how you have developed your sensitivity levels, if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. And if you need anything, what else do you want to know about this? I feel there's something else or another question that someone may have. Tina, if you don't mind, I'm going to unmute you because you have some insights as far as the planetary. I know you're not a zodiac person or an astrologer, but you work more with those energies than I do. You know, I'm up a lot higher, but it still affects me. And if I'm not sure what's going on, I'll look for different posts on my Facebook page from other people, because they'll talk about the moon or the solar eclipse or the solar flares. I'm like, okay, got it. And then I can go on. I know it's not just me in this time. Is there anything you'd like to share about these kinds of energies that I haven't touched on?
Well, clearly, you know, planetary aspects are going to affect us. I mean, there's no way to get around any of that. If you can find a good astrologer that you can resonate with, and that you find that this person's daily message, over time, you find resonates with your experiences throughout the day, stay hooked and connected. I use Jenny Stone. I really like her a lot. Jenni Stone. And what I like mostly about her is not just the fact that she's spot on with the astrological information, but that she has a take on it. She has a gift of being able to speak in a language that doesn't complicate the information that she's conveying. The moon cycles, I mean, seriously, we all know that's why they call lunatic people who are acting crazy when the lunar cycle is happening, usually the full moon. But we are affected by the moon. And so the phases of the moon that we're going through certainly is going to affect how we perceive others, how we perceive ourselves, and what's going on around us. The other planetary aspects, yes, they're going to affect us. Pluto, Saturn, and so on and so forth. Mercury is really more about communication issues. And so therefore, when people are having communication issues, you're picking up on that as an empath, and you can feel the stress and so on and so forth. And so you may not see that the moon is really should be affecting you, but it's the other planets that people are being affected by, that you're picking up on the energy. So having a good astrologer in your pocket, so to speak, just to check in on a daily basis is helpful. So then you can pretty much look at your day and say, okay, I kind of know what I'm going to be running up against. And when you do, then it's like, okay, I know that is energetically affecting this person, and you can move through it. That would be my best support. I also wanted to point out, for some reason, my group chat isn't working for me to type. Everything I type brings up all these other things on my computer. So I wanted to point out that black tourmaline is an excellent protection stone along with hematite. And they will protect you from dark forces. Hematite in a fountain outside your home or by your bedside will draw the energies, the negative energies, to the water and to the stone and away from you. Black tourmaline is an excellent protection stone as well.
It absolutely is. Thank you, beautiful. I appreciate it. I've forgotten about hematite being a huge grounding stone, so you can have them in your pocket or in the fountain like Tina suggests. And black tourmaline, absolutely, it will help absorb as well as put like I don't want to say barrier, but like a filter around you, an energy filter or an energy circle. I don't want to use the word barrier, but the energy circle around you. So now that you have some additional information about astrology and the planets, do not allow this to dictate what you do in this way. There are some of my colleagues who won't do any brand new deals. They won't, during Mercury retrograde, for example, they won't do anything new. And it's like, okay, so what do? Did you stop doing a lot of things? Now you can, beef up your own energy. You can clear it out some more. You can be aware of it, but it's your choice as to what you do or don't do. So these are different areas or different aspects to be aware of, and you get to choose what dictates what you do or don't do next. I just go about my business. Mercury retrograde does affect because the energies are there, and yet it does not affect me, thankfully, knock on wood, if I have any real wood around here, in the same way that it does most people. My electronics may be a little bit slower, but nothing blows up. It just never has. As I become more and more sensitized, more and more sensitive to the energies, then the different wavelengths or the energy patterns do affect me differently, especially if I'm going through a new phase of up-leveling myself. I might be more, I don't want to say that. It may seem more chaotic or more devastating than it really is, and it's not really devastating. That's just what the conscious mind, ego chitter-chatter does. It brings up stuff, and during these periods where the energy is stretched, that's another one, thank you. So another way that the energy gets stretched, and this is how I'm seeing it, how I'm taught to perceive it and to share it, is that when these, like Mercury goes retrograde, or Venus, or the planets, or the moon, or whatever, the energy gets stretched, and especially when we change clocks or the times. Used to be the whole world did it all at the same time, the spring one and the fall one, right? You spring forward and fall back. I'm still getting used to this after 20 years, and I lived in Hawaii for 30, where we never changed the clock. It's like, okay. Anyway, every time we switch the time, we move it up or back, there's a slip or time pull. It stretches the energy out. Now it's 4 times a year because the U.S. changes their clocks differently than the rest of the world. So now you have these energy pulls. And there's another one for sure, the equinoxes, but that's more positive than it is on the negative side. The Halloween, which, seems kind of silly we'd be talking about this, but if you'd ever notice, that's All Hallows Eve. So the time and the energy gets pulled, and stuff seeps through that doesn't normally get to seep through because energy's stretched. Does that make sense? So just be more aware, and it's not like, oh my God, I have to plan all these things. No, it's not about obsessing. It's just becoming aware. So, is this coming from me or is this coming to me? You could even ask, is this, some energetic time slip? Just so that you're aware that it's not all you. It's affecting you, but it's not you. You're not crazy. You're not insane. You're not over the top. Well, empaths are over the top. But That's just the way it is. But you're not reacting crazy even for you. Okay? The action step is meditation. If you aren't doing it, do it. If you're doing it, keep on doing it. And here's a simple way to focus on meditation, because I promise you, if you haven't done it for a while, or you haven't really done it because it's just like too hard, and you close your eyes, and what happens? Conscious mind starts taking off 100 miles an hour in a 2-mile-an-hour zone, and it just won't shut up. So this is what I teach. And I did this for myself in the beginning, because sitting still for even 5 minutes was beyond my comprehension. Sitting still and being quiet for 5 minutes, not in my vocabulary. So you can, find a spot that you're going to meditate in every single day. Same spot. This way you're going to be building up like an energy field, an energy circle or a bubble, so that every time you're in this spot, your body does that. So even in those days when it's more of a challenge to meditate, and after years and years and years of doing this, there are still times when there's so much going on up here that I'm not able to quiet it down as much as I like. That's okay. I'm still in the same spot. And when I sit there, my body goes, and you are getting benefit. So here's how you do this. You sit in the same spot, you light a candle, a white one or a pink one, and we've talked about that before. White is purification and divine protection. The pink is unconditional love. So either one. Play some soft music, and you focus on your breathing with your eyes open on the flame of the candle. When you're focusing your physical eyes on the flame of the candle and focusing on your breathing, the conscious mind doesn't have as much to chitter-chatter about, so it leaves you alone. Do this for 5 minutes for the next 7 to 10 days, and increase it to 10. Now, if you have a guided meditation that you really love, then do that. And every time you catch your conscious mind wandering, that's okay. Just bring it back. Just bring it back. Okay. Let's see. Lori Ann meditates every day. She likes the idea that pink is unconditional love. You're welcome. And you're welcome to do that from now on. Absolutely. Also have a notebook beside you, because as you become more engaged in this process, you're going to start feeling or sensing thoughts float through your head. That's guidance, messages, or answers, and you want to have something to write them down with, because I promise you they'll be gone. They'll float in and they'll float right out. If you don't write them down, they're lost. Most often lost. Even after all these years of doing this, there are some things I can hold on to now long enough, because if you're driving, it's kind of hard to just, pull off to the side of the road and start writing things down. But some of those other things, it's like I write them down right away. I have a notebook that I write all of these ideas down. And it may be a year, 6 months, 2 months, a week, I don't know, 2 years before I get back to it. But I've written it down, because when it comes time to do the XYZ, if I haven't written it, there's no way to retrieve it. Those soft thoughts, that soft guidance comes in, and it floats right out like a feather. It's like here and it's gone. It's like a hummingbird. It'll be there for a second and then it's gone. A butterfly kind of flickers around and then all of a sudden it's gone. Little bit of analogy, but there it is. So, any final comments or thoughts? Any questions? Because I'm feeling complete on this end, but I want to make sure we've covered everything for y'all before we call this complete for today. Okay, good. I got a thumbs up. Excellent. Yay, like those. Ladies in the chat, let's see. Lori, Jill, and Gina, are you still here? Gina, how did we do? You learned good stuff. Excellent. Glad you could join us, Lori. So, that was a lot today. You may want to listen to this one. Thank you, Gina. You may want to listen to this one, review this one a couple of times because there was a lot in a small amount of time, not to mention the meditation was really fabulous, just if I do say so myself. Why not, right? I'm the one channeling it. Okay, little funny there. Oh, topic for tomorrow. One of my favorite topics. Connections to angels. Connecting to angels is easier than you believe. This is where we've been doing and working with angels all this time, but tomorrow's going to be more focused on that. And then day 9, we're going to be working more with crystals and angels. And the reason we started with this or waited till the end of it, kind of, is because if you're so full of the other stuff, it would have been more frustrating to try and connect more clearly or more or even get started, because you have to clear out the surface junk, or what I call junkolitis, in order to get your connection. You can even get started or make sure that you're even knowing that what you're getting is really from them and not, something else. Okay, there's some more comments in here, so let's see. Lori, go back to the beginning. Yes, you liked the way I smiled when I said connection to angels. Thank you. Well, it may seem weird to some people that we start off with the vibration piece, and yet without working on that, you just can't get the clearness, the clarity, and recognize the messages and the signs and the symbols that you're getting, because there's too much stuff in the way, too much surface rubbish. And the same goes with clearing out your prosperity energy, attracting clients or sales for sales commissions, opportunities, recognizing them and being able to take action on them. So it all works together, and it really doesn't matter which way you work first. It's easier if you get a lot of the surface crap out of the way, and then you can work on your connection so much more easily because you don't have so much stuff to wade through, if you understand that. All right. Yeah, my favorite subject, connecting to angels. All right, ladies and gents, if you're joining us later, thank you so very much. I really am enjoying this challenge, and I'll let you in on a little secret, but don't tell anybody. I wasn't sure how I was going to manage this every day, meaning, doing these videos at a set time is not my usual way. I kind of allow the energy to okay, it's time. So that's why the Facebook Lives on my Facebook pages are kind of sporadic, because if I'm not in the right space energetically, I don't do it. Otherwise, so it's kind of cool because the angels and I get to collaborate in a different way. It's like, okay, it's 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, gotta go. What am I talking about? And the other secret is, the only thing they give me is the title for the talk. That's it. And the angel, yes, thank you. And the angel. And that's what we're doing. We're being spontaneous here with you, and I'm absolutely loving it. So thank you for allowing me to do this, and thank you for joining and sharing in the journey with me, with us, and with each other. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.